This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, friends. Welcome to goonlinetrainings.com. So we know how to use incremental loading. We had implemented with the help of a lookup. Clear? And today we're going to be using a pattern number 2. The pattern number 2 is using SCD. How can we perform incremental loading? So what I ask you to do, you create one more database, data warehousing database. Clear? With the help of given scripts. Let me go and go to project files. You will have data warehousing. Let me open data warehousing script. Let me create control A copy. I would like to create new script with the help of this. Now underscore SCD. Clear? So this is the database I would like to create. Now within this, let me copy and paste it. And is there anywhere I have the same name? I think here at the end, you need to also change this alt database read and write, something like this. So I am going to be creating, remember, I'm going to be creating one more database called TARDIS SCD because we had created a incremental loading in this database. Clear? But remember, I did not, execute the packet tables. I did not include packet tables here. So you need to get the packet tables and execute them so that the data is available in the TARDIS DW underscore lookup database. All fact tables also should have a data. Clear? So that is what you need to do it. So now I'm going to be implementing pattern number 2. What is the pattern number 2? Uh, Using SCD, I would like to perform incremental loading. For this, I am creating a new data warehouse. Clear? So this is a script I would like to run. I have changed this SCD, try to execute it. Now, so let me close this. It ran successfully fine. Now you go there and refresh it. You're going to be getting one more TARDIS DW. Now, after getting this, we know that so we need to insert the data into X reference table. Now open this file. Now Control A, Control C. Control A means select all. Then go to new query window. Control V. But you go up. Go up. Now here you have to use. Okay. The database name is this database name. The database name you drag and drop. This is the database name. You should use it. Try to execute it. Now it is going to be inserting the data into the X reference table. This is also perfectly fine. Now later, I wanted to run. I would like to run dim timetable script as well because this is a script I'm going to be using. Now go here. So do you remember dim time has a issue? We were creating a dimension dot date. So you remove this and you drag and drop SCD here and try to execute it. Now it is going to be creating dimension dot date as well. So this is also fine. Clear? Now let me close this. Now you go and you can say use TARDIS and you will have all the tables, dimension tables and fact tables. And again, you don't have data any data in the dimension tables as well as the factor tables. You have to create. You have to create one more project, new project. Now let me close this. Okay, and open this one. Create a new project. TARDIS DW underscore SCD. Clear? Let me go to file, new project. So create this time SSIS TARDIS TARDIS DW underscore lookup is done. I wanted to implement SCD. I would like to go to my project. Where is the project? It is stored in the C drive, right? Go to C drive. go to TARDIS. Now this is what I wanted to have it here. Now select this and create a new project. Clear? Now I'm going to be creating. You should be able to get a existing package, right? So you go, I would like to get, add existing package from the file system from the previous. Okay, so you had so we had where is that packages? The other packages I think we had, right? Let me call those packages here. So I think where is the packages? I have stored it somewhere in the downloads folder. Yeah, somewhere the packages are available here, I think. Okay, these are the packages. I think I have it. So from here, I wanted to get these packages. Let me go and right click on this, say add existing package, go to file system, click add new, and go control V and click on this. Now you should be able to get load dim policy. Clear? Now click on add. Clear? Now in this you need to create again connections. So project connections, you have to get it. So those connections are available here. I think we can also add the existing connections if you have. Let me add those connections as well here. Let me right click on this. No, do we add anything? So I don't have anything here. You can add those connections here. Clear? So what is that we're going to be implementing here? The first connection we need to have. So right click, you can take one connection, OLEDB connection. So new. So server name is dot, database name is TARDIS stage, right? So you can just rename. This is what is called source. Okay, source underscore Amazon stage. Now this you rename it. This is a project connection. The next one is called create one more connection, new OLEDB connection. Click new. Server name is dot. Now this time I wanted to use SCD. Clear? So this is the table name, the database name. I wanted to use it. Now just rename this. Now this is destination underscore TARDIS DW SCD. Okay, or simply TARDIS DW. Clear? So this I would like to make this as a project connections. This I can use everywhere. Just go and give these connections over there. Okay, so you have to give the proper connections. So it is a source that you need to give. The table name, I think, so it is not Amazon. So did I take Amazon here? Oh, sorry, yeah, this is not Amazon. So double click on this. This must be TARDIS stage, right? Yeah. Let me rename this. TARDIS stage. Now for I go here, double click on this TARDIS stage. Now I wanted to use stage policy as this one, and you need to change all these things. That is fine. Okay, I'm not going to be doing now. Remember, here we were implementing the incremental loading with the help of a lookup transformation, right? So you delete this lookup, you delete this lookup one. So now you delete the temp table. Now you delete everything. So I wanted to use now So SCD transformation to perform the incremental loading. So you simply go to the common transformation and drag and drop, slowly changing dimension. Clear? And always you connect. So these things I did not change it, but you have to properly give all these connections. Clear? So you have to go to connections and give the proper, things. I'm not giving, but at the end, so before loading the data to the destination table, you drag and drop, slowly changing the dimension and double click on this. When you double click on this, it's going to be opening a wizard. So click next. And here you have to select a dimension table. Dimension table means data warehouse connection. You need to use it. What is a dimension table? Dimension dot policy. This is the one you should use it. Now, when you expand it, you need to have a business key. So what is the business key? Already we know it. Business key, when you go to the project files and data warehousing, when you go to ETL mapping document, what is the business key here? The business key, master number and sequence number. You go there. So this is the source data. Input column means this is source data. This is the dimension table data. So master number. Okay, this is a business key. And master sequence number. This is also a business key. This is a composite business key. Clear? So you need to identify this. Then only the next button will get enabled. If you say no key, if you identified, next button is not enabled. So this is a source column data. When you choose a dimension table, this is the dimension table data. What is the business key? The business key is here, sequence number as well as the master number. Correct? This is the one. So this is a composite primary key or the business key. Click next. So what are the things I should do it here? Fixed attribute, changing attribute, historical attribute. These three things you should know. Okay. So SCD has three attributes, right? So fixed attribute. This is, people will say type 0. Okay. The second one is called changing attribute. Changing attribute. This is SCD type 1. Clear? And the next one is called historical attribute. Historical attribute. Okay. So there are three things that you need to understand in SCD. Clear? What is a type 0? What is a type 1? Type 2. In the type 0 means data will not change. Changes are treated as errors. Clear? So where exactly we're going to be using this? So let us talk about some data here. I have an employee data. I have employee ID. I have employee name, employee gender, employee salary, and the city in which is working currently. Now I wanted to take the data. I wanted to dump the data into the data warehousing and try to, implement incremental loading. I have some data here. Let me talk about some data. One, let us say John, gender male, salary $10,000, city currently is working in Bangalore. Two, let us say Lata, female, $20,000, and she is working for Bangalore. If I perform SCD, SCD is going to be used to perform the incremental loading. Clear? So when I run SCD, all the data will be taken and it is going to be copied to the dimension table. Clear? So if you tell me what data will not change till John death, what data will not change? For example, I have my blood group cannot change till I die. My father's name cannot change till I die. My mother's name cannot change till I die. So some data is read-only data. So the data is called as a type 0 data. For example, when I say type 0 data, nobody should modify. Do you change your name every time? That is read-only. Your name is Raj, your name is Shankar or John or Abosode. The data is read-only. Once it is given, nobody will change it. So that kind of a data is called as a type 0 data. Type 0 data means Once it is given, nobody should modify. Tomorrow, if somebody comes and try to say it is not John, somebody is entering John K. But when you run SCD, it is going to be identifying type 0. Type 0 means nobody should modify because already John is gone to the destination server. It is going to be comparing John K with John. It is a type 0. Type 0 means what? Read only data. Nobody should modify the data in the source. If somebody modifies the data, you will get errors. So type 0 data, this is also type 0. Why? Your gender cannot be modified, right? So for example, you are a male by default. Can you change your gender to female? It is rare cases. 99.999% a lot of data cannot be changed. But you can change your city, you can change your salary, you can change your height, weight, a lot of things can change, but a lot of things cannot change. Your father's name, your date of birth, your age can change, date of birth cannot change. Mother's name, your mother cannot change, your father cannot change, your brother cannot change. So a lot of things are read only. Read only data is called as a type 0 data. Clear? When you give type 0 here, if somebody trying to modify, tomorrow they would like to modify something here, when they try to execute this package is going to be identifying John's gender is male, but somebody has modified to female. So it gives you errors. Clear? So what data can be treated as a type 0? The type 0 means what? It is a read-only data, so that you have to identify. Whatever be the data that you wanted to overwrite in the destination, that is what is called type 1 data. For example, this guy transferred from Bangalore to, let us say Chennai. Whenever it is modifying, whenever you run the package, the Chennai is going to be modified like this. So type 1 means overwriting. Remember this point. Type 1 means what? Overwriting the data. Okay. So here, no updates in the source. Okay, node updates are available. So errors, updates are treated as errors here. Clear? So when you modify the data, if it is a type 1, this will get overwritten. When you mention as a type 2 data here, so this data will be pointed as historical data. For example, John's salary is $12,000 today. When you run the package, it's going to be taking the same row and maintaining as a one more row here. Clear? We know that. So his salary could be in last year. His salary in the last year, 2019, this was a salary. In the current year, he got increment. Clear? So when you say type 2, the same row will be taken as historical data. And this column you need to maintain extra. If you wanted to maintain, you can maintain. Otherwise, no need. If there is no column also, you will be able to get two rows here. So whenever you modify this 22,000 here, since it is a type 2, the same row will be coming here. So we know that how many times the salary got increased for these guys. Clear? Type 1 means override. For example, this guy now transferred to, let us say, Pune. So whatever will be the latest record. What is the latest record? This is the old record. This is the latest record. So in the latest record, Pune will get updated. Clear? So this is a type 2. Type 2 means old record will be there. New record will be there. So this is the primary key. And you cannot create a primary key in this. If you create a primary key, you cannot maintain historical data in the SCD type 2. Remember, people would ask you to perform incremental loading. Source table must have a business key or the primary key. And if you wanted to maintain a type 2, you should not have a primary key column here. If you create a primary key column, you cannot have duplicated data here. So that is what is the type 2. Clear? So now according to our Excel sheet, so we can update this column and this column and this column. So here we are not going to be doing type 0 or type 2, and only we are going to be implementing type 1, overwriting the data for these columns. What are the columns? You have to take year of account. Let me go here. So take year of account. Okay. So what columns I should take it? Only those columns. Year of account, say it is changing attribute. It is a type. Changing means overwriting the data. Clear? The next one. So I have to take and implement master reference number. So we can say M. Master reference, it is also changing attribute. We don't have any historical data, simply overwriting. So all these things you need to choose here. The next column is what? So next column is what? We should not include this. You need to have a domicile. So go here. The next one is called a domicile. So press a D, domicile, and it is also changing attribute. We don't have an historical attribute. Like that, all the columns you got to implement one by one. And next, domicile, inception date and expiry date. That's it, nothing else. So inception date and expiry date. Expiry date. Okay. Click next, click next, click next, and click finish. That's it. Okay. So it is automatically creating these insert and deletes, all these things I'm going to be deleting. Let me delete everything here. Now this is going to be creating what is called as a SCD transformation. Clear? So SCD transformation is used to perform the incremental loading and incremental updates, as well as it can also implement a type 0, type 1, type 2. What is a type 0? So you should not update the data into the source. If you update any data into the source, so when you run the SSIS package, it's going to be giving you an error. Clear? Changes are treated as error. So type 1 means it is changing attribute, overwriting the data into the destination in case any updates happened in the source. So the next one, type 2, means if you modify any data in the source column, if you make that as historical data, you will be able to find out a new row here. But remember, you cannot create a primary key. So nothing can be primary key here. If you maintain a primary key here, then it is not going to be maintaining a duplicate data. Primary key has to be removed. Clear? So this is how we can understand SCD. SCD is very, very bad. Why SCD is bad? I'll tell you. Because it is going to be using OLEDB command for updation. Because OLEDB command is going to be performing row by row operations. Because of that, SCD is very, very slow compared to lookup. Clear? SCD is ready-made transformation to perform incremental loading, but SCD is very, very bad because it is going to be using OLEDB command for the updates. So OLEDB command is going to be performing row by row operations. So when you have a large amount of data coming from the source, and if you have a large inserts and large amount of updates, when you implement SCD for the incremental loading, your SCD transformation, your SSS package will be very, very slow. Because of this, nobody is going to be using SCD transformation to perform the incremental loading. Instead of that, you're going to be using what? So lookup transformation with the execute SQL task. Clear? But why are we learning SCD? Because at least you will have the, the hands-on experience. So you need to implement for all the dimension tables here and create all the dimension tables plus those three factor tables also you should have it. Then try to load the data to this data warehousing. So in the data warehouse, you have to have the data into the dimension tables as well as in the fact tables. Clear? So this is the next one that you have to implement, and this is a separate project that you have to create. Am I clear? So what is the SCD? I have explained. If you don't understand clearly, so I have uploaded SCD video in the YouTube channel. You go to YouTube channel and look for Bhaskar Jogi SCD video. You just understand slowly so that you can just come here and implement SCD for each and every you know table, dimension table. Clear? So that is what is the homework that you should do and complete the pattern 2. Clear? So then we're going to be using pattern number 3 using stored procedures that we're going to be discussing day after tomorrow. Clear? So tomorrow what you do, you try to implement SCD. If you get any kind of an issues, we will discuss. And again, you need to perform one update, one insert. Clear? You have those scripts ready, right? For the unit testing purpose. One row you insert and one row you update and try to perform incremental loading and do all the unit testing and verify whether the dimension table is properly getting updates and inserts or not. Clear? So every time you need to perform the unit testing with those inserts and updates. I think I hope you have those scripts ready. You have to try testing them. Clear, guys? Thank you so much. So the next pattern is stored procedures that we're going to be implementing. Clear? So any questions you have? Thank you, guys.